Denise, are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're on now?
Yes,
Okay.
we're on.
Okay, I now call this meeting to order, a special meeting of the governing body of the City of Devine. This is the 26th day of September 2023. My time, 6:05. All right, go straight to agenda item number 2. Discuss and consider approval of council minutes. Special meeting minutes budget workshop from August 15th, 2023. Special meeting minutes budget workshop from August 22nd, 2023. The emergency meeting minutes, August 25th, 2023. Special meeting minutes budget workshop, August 29th, 2023. And special meeting minutes budget workshop, September 12th, 2023.
I didn't see any.
No, I read all of them.
I had a couple things that I wanted just to kind of point out real quickly. On the August 15th minutes, it kind of said, it has me as saying, I think we should assist the Devine Golf Group. And if I did say that, it was intended to be, I stated that we need to basically take care of our infrastructure and our equipment and so forth. Well, it's August 15th minutes.
I got it.
Okay, page 5,
Could be.
second paragraph.
Let me see what's on here. Okay, it's page 4,
Yeah.
page 5. Yes, ma'am. I don't intend that the city assist the golf course. I basically intend to say that the property belongs to us and we should maintain our property. Of course, I suppose if you went back in the video, it may say that if we were, but anyway, you can check that if you wish. And then on page 6, also the same August 15th. Okay, it has
Bless you.
Thank you.
there's somewhere on page 6 refers to, you know what, I may not have the,
Is at the very bottom?
basically refers to, that I suggested that the proposed tax rate should be between the no new revenue rate and the current tax rate. And I'm pretty sure it should be the no new revenue rate and the vote of approval rate. But you know, we've had so many meetings and there's so many minutes to look at, you know. No, I can't find it.
The last paragraph on page 6.
The last paragraph on page 6? That's from the 15th?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is, right. So, it wouldn't be between the no new revenue rate and the current tax rate because the no new revenue rate is higher than the current tax rate. So, okay.
So I guess if they take action on that, they just need to let us know to change that in the motion.
Yeah, I would think so. And then on the, question on the August 22 minutes, it had to do with Josh speaking to, let's see here, hang on. Josh, did you get to read that, the August 22 minutes, when you were referring to the inventory report that was given to the Devine Golf Group?
I skimmed it. I haven't looked into the level of detail you're talking about. I have it up in front of me though. It captures the spirit of what. I mean, it captures the spirit of what happened.
Okay. Well, the only reason I bring it up is because the inventory report that was given, that was referred to at that meeting to the Devine Golf Group, was actually the inventory report that was given to SG Golf Management several years prior.
I don't think we had that figured out at that meeting though.
Oh, okay.
That was a source of a lot of confusion.
Okay, so perhaps that would be...
I think this is probably the first time that point has been made public.
Yeah, it was.
The list that was turned in, okay, that we referred to at that meeting when the Devine Golf Group came, when we started talking about the chemicals, where it had the listed $36,000 of fertilizer.
That was on the contract that Josh had a copy of.
Right. So it turns out that was also on the Grego's contract as well. So it's the exact same.
It was actually the one from the SG Golf Management contract.
Okay, that's fine, but what we talked about was it was on the DGG's contract. That's because you had that.
Right.
So
So
I mean, even
with
if it was
regard to
the
this
SG,
meeting-
same one, I'm just saying, that's what we were talking about, was the actual DGG contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the DGG never got an inventory list
Right.
before. Okay.
But yeah, it will be reflected in these meeting minutes.
Okay. I didn't know if you needed to correct that or not, so. But essentially, it's just it couldn't be between the no new revenue rate and the current tax rate, because current tax rate's 4913, no new revenue rate's 5553. So it should have been the no new revenue rate and the voter approval rate. So which is on page 6 of the August 15th minutes. And I can't make a motion.
I'll make the motion, we accept the minutes, change whatever the mayor has, these couple of things, if that's how it was, for August, okay, now I'm going to try to come up with all those dates again. August 15th, 22nd, 29th. Oh, now I've lost my page. I'm sorry. All the minutes that's listed on the agenda. Is that sufficient?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion from Debbie, saying to accept the minutes from all those that are listed, aside from the two things I pointed out on the August 15th minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Is there a second from Mike? Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving on to agenda item number 3. Discuss and consider amending the current budget for fiscal year 2022-2023. Sarah?
So, that was sent to y'all, so y'all have, y'all have it, it's the one that's highlighted in yellow at the top under for fiscal year ending September 30th of 2023. So, y'all have any?
I have one question for you. So it's showing a deficit at the moment of $547,270. How much of that $1.1 million in the capital outlay is going to be moved by the auditors?
The 924.
924,000? Okay.
So how much extra money will we have?
I was
for
just going to
last-
figure that out. I needed that number in order to get that the surplus for it.
Or 300 something?
I'm sorry?
300 something?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 300 and something, but I couldn't figure it out without that number. So right now we're at a negative 547,270, but we're going to add 924.
It's 924,053.
I'm sorry, say it again?
$924,053.
Okay, thank you. So we're gonna go minus 547,270. Minus 924,053. Okay, so, oh, really? 376,000? Wow, that's even more than we budgeted at the beginning of the year. 376,783 for a surplus. We budgeted 322. So we did better than we anticipated.
I still don't see this story.
Huh?
I don't see where that is. I don't have it on my.
Oh, she sent that yesterday.
Yeah, it's in your.
It's the fourth attachment on the first email that came yesterday.
It's an Excel spreadsheet.
All I have is 2024.
You showed it to me just a minute ago here. It's on the Excel, it will say Excel spreadsheet. It's an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, it won't load. Right there? I
Okay.
can't get it to load. So if you have a paper copy.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. She's good.
No.
Oh, that is for me. Never mind. That is for, okay.
Is that in next year's budget already? If so, where would that be?
It's not in the budget.
Okay.
It just goes to the cash account after the auditors take care of their stuff. So what is that, January-ish? Yeah. I mean, we have the money.
Right.
We're not using it. Well, we might be using it in this current budget. It's money that's in our account.
I was thinking if we had any particularly high interest rates, it'd be great to pay a little money down.
I don't know what kind of accounts they're in.
Fair.
How often does the, okay, so what you're projecting here for a surplus from last year's budget, okay, would be $601,000?
Where do you get that number from, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, no, that's
223
Amended
final
budget.
budget with amendments, 601,725.
I'm not sure what that number is either.
Oh,
but
that's
no.
the surplus, but then once you take the capital outlay out of that, it came out to minus 247,270.
547,270.
547, I'm sorry. My brain and the mouth not so good today. However, 924,000 of that $1.1 million isn't that the
Airport hangars?
The purchase of the hangars, but we have the certificate.
yes. So it's going to get moved out of capital outlay by the auditors. So technically we'll have 376,783 as a surplus this year. We did good. The city did good.
And then the next question would be, when we do have our projected surplus, how often does it match up with the auditors when they get done?
How often does it,
Match up, like we were talking beforehand. It always gets, huh? Oh, I know. I'm just saying, does it come close?
we look back,
Yeah.
we went back to all the different audits, and they're all,
We've always been real close. Till it gets audited, we don't have an exacto, but we've always been very close. At this point of the game, council's always been in the ballpark. Things change, we know that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I motion that we accept the amended budget for 2022-2023.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion, by Debbie to approve the amended budget for fiscal year 2022-2023. We have a second by Flipper. Any further discussion from anyone? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 4, discuss and consider adopting budget for fiscal year 2023-2024. So we're going to have 3 budgets to look at, essentially.
Yes, so what I sent on, I gave you those on the side. So you have the budget, and we just did the general fund because that's what it changed. So you have one of them that shows the tax rate of 0.5800. You have one of them showing the tax rate of 0.5553, and then the other one is the tax rate of the 0.5589.
I don't have the 5589. I got 5553 and 580.
Same.
I'm the same way.
5589 was the
The full budget that
What was the full budget? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, okay.
I didn't figure y'all wanted me to send y'all the full budget.
That's fine. I didn't pay attention.
But do you need the full budget? You can't open up yours?
Well, I take it, well, that could be, but it's not printed out.
The 2 different.
Okay, so I'll open up the full budget. Well, I actually had those, I looked at those earlier. Yeah,
That's the full one that got emailed
okay.
to y'all.
That's under the 5589.
Yes.
Okay.
As I see it, I like the budget. Our budget looks really good. Now it depends on what tax rate did you guys want to go with to be able to approve this budget.
Yeah, they go hand in hand, they go together.
They kind of do. I mean, I understand we're not approving the tax rate on this agenda item, but we kind of need to know which one y'all want to go to. The no new revenue tax rate of 5553, we have a surplus of 476,460. I can't imagine that we need more than that. That is an astronomical, it may be the highest surplus the city's ever had at the beginning of a budget.
At the 485,194? Oh,
I'm saying the no new revenue tax rate
on
of
the 5553.
5553, because I'll know you're not going to go with the 4913, even though I want that. But with the 5553, it's still $476,000 of surplus. I can't imagine why you would want to raise the tax rate any more than that, just so we could have a few thousand more dollars in the bank. Or actually $100,000 more in the bank. That's my opinion. Anyway, that's mine. Now, next.
I'm not going to beat my dead horse anymore.
these are kind of some new numbers on that surplus, are they not? Is this what was projected in the previous?
It's close. I brought that all last week to show you.
What's the difference of the, what'd you say, a couple of 100,000?
100,000. From the 5553 to the 580, it is a, well, it's 476, 460 versus 536, 386, a little less than 100,000. Still a lot.
On the 12th, our 5.8 budget showed a surplus of 322,000.
Say Say that again?
The 5A budget showed, oh, no, sorry, wrong tab.
The 5589?
Where's my number? Yeah, no, just the 5.8 showed a surplus of, where am I at?
536, 386.
4. Oh, that showed about $500,000.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, my question here, so last year, at the beginning of the budget year, it started out with a projected, if I'm reading this right, a projected surplus at $850,000 before capital outlay, and then ended up being $250,000 less. Is that what I see, guys? Denise? Okay, all right, I'm looking at the same page that has the 5553, okay? Which is the effect, the no new revenue rate. And if you go back for comparison to 22-23, the amended was 601,725 from a beginning of 850,374.
Yeah, so the operating surplus for the amended is the 601,725, yes.
Yeah, so it's $250,000 less than what was initially projected. Am I seeing that right?
No, this is all without capital outlay taken out of it.
No, this is before the capital outlay.
Well, when we did the budget, we put capital outlay in it because you have to.
Yeah.
And when we got done, there was a $322,000 surplus when the budget was first approved.
Well, like I said, I'm missing something. I'm just looking here.
The yellow one, you're gonna see in the middle column where it says 2023 approved budget, that's what council adopted last year in September. Those are the figures that they adopted.
2023.
That was what we were just talking about, the last
Bunch of people.
item.
That's gonna be the one that's highlighted in yellow.
Isn't that what it says? It says that there was a projected surplus of 850,374.
No.
No,
601?
no. The approved budget that they adopted back in September of last year, that middle column that says 2023 approved budget, that is what council adopted.
That's on another page.
That's in this one, which the one that's got highlighted yellow, the one we gave you.
Okay.
So yellow is 2023, green is 2024, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I got you now, I got you.
So we approve what, 434?
Yes.
And it ended up where?
Close to 300.
326.
No,
Are you talking about still the approved budget that was adopted last year?
Right.
So our surplus
The
was,
approved budget to start the year 2023,
uh,
operating surplus $134,000.
less 112,000 for capital outlay.
Right.
Should have been a surplus of 322,000,
Right?
and we're close to that this year.
Okay, and you're gonna take how much away from the 869,000 on the amendments, final budget, the final budget with amendments? You're gonna take 547,000,
Which budget are you talking
If
about?
you
the
go,
one that she just switched to?
we're on the,
Oh, the final budget amendment. Yes. So your operating surplus was the 601,725, but again, that's for Debbie calculated to take out the $924,053. That reduces that million, which gives you the surplus at the end of whatever you said.
76, 783.
While I maintain my opposition to all of this, we do need to keep in mind that we are planning to have a city administrator this year, and that's something we've been relying on the past 2 years, is saving the more than $100,000 by not hiring them. So that will certainly cut into the extra.
That's 100.
Yes, it is, well, a little more than that for benefits and whatnot. but-
Well, benefits and such. It's still with $476,000 surplus at the moment, which all of that has already been put into, we're not gonna,
Was put into it last year as well. And again, I maintain my opposition to the entire budget this year, so. I'm not saying for or against, just simply stating a fact.
okay, so you're not saying we're still gonna have to take another 100,000 out of this?
No.
Okay, I just was
there was
gonna
that extra
say,
wiggle
oh,
room the
we
past
got
two
more
budgets.
problems.
This is,
I just saw it now. I think they have on the minutes
Have any folks seen anything back on the airport?
wrong.
Yes. What do you mean we have an airport?
Haircut, 43. Okay.
The water rates, that's, study's not done now. It probably won't be done for another 2 or 3 weeks. It's one of those that takes a while to crunch and estimate, and then crunch.
You asked Debbie, was it 376?
Yes, and we can, which is what we're gonna have to do, yeah. The water sewer. Yes.
And so,
Manager show.
right here, the 924, and I put all the.
Knowing that we're gonna be
done
able to-
off for the CFO. So you're
That
gonna
will be
take that, so you're gonna
fixed.
subtract that from that number and the balance.
And I wasn't on council back
Like
then, when they did it in
20,000.
2018, but I was here when
The approval was
I
580.
came to the meetings then, and I do remember them doing that and saying, with the study coming. And then when the study came and then they raised the water rates
You see what I'm saying?
and then it balanced everything out. It's one of those 6 months down the road.
Yeah, so it should
it'll
be
all
this one right
balance
here.
out.
58889. So it should be 55, right? No.
That's gonna be your capital out.
588.
That's gonna go
Here,
here.
my pager computer still does only do this up here on my,
That's
on my computer that I don't have to play with. How do
I
I?
know.
Good eye. Yeah, because I was reading it, I'm like, we'll have to go back and change it.
Because what I normally do is on my computer, I do all that, and then this is all this was the.
I just, because I was reading through it and I was. Should be what, 5589?
558, yes. We'll have it fixed.
All right.
I'm gonna keep this page, is that right?
That's fine.
okay. No further questions from me on that? Just need to see exactly which page she was talking about.
Okay, so we're talking about the proposed right now. So under the water, we went ahead and put in the capital outlay, the 23.5 for the land. That's in there, under capital outlay. We were kind of going over everything today, this afternoon, and we went ahead and put it, and that's why y'all have that handout, for the water and sewer showing under the capital outlay.
The only thing that would not be on the water sewer budget at this time would of course be the water rates because we're still waiting on the study. But the other thing would be the survey for the land.
Oh, yeah.
And there's what, 3 things we have to still do? Like survey, appraisal, whatever that policy thing was that Tom said he suggested we do that cost $500. Like, I don't know, I don't
probably the,
have those notes
title
in front of me, but, yeah, it has something to do with that.
Oh, the title search.
Oh, title search, thank you. So, once that's all done, but we don't know how much those cost, so I can see why it's not in the budget. We'll just have to amend when it comes to that portion, but it's much smaller than the 23,000, we know that.
We go with the 5589, we don't have to worry about it.
5589 has nothing to do with water sewer.
Is it the surplus?
You cannot mix the two.
Okay, okay.
They're two so separate entities.
All right.
Best of luck getting your education on that. Nobody understands it.
Everybody doesn't like
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's why you're listening. I'll just second. Okay.
So basically, somebody, not me, has to decide which one you want to go with.
I mean, I've been saying for weeks, I'm good with going with the .5553. I would prefer that.
Yeah, what you're looking at, a difference in total between the two. Okay, the 5553 is going to bring in $9,600 more than last year. Guess what I'm seeing here, I believe.
9,600?
Yeah, just $9,600.
9,600 or 96,000?
It's 9,600.
9,600?
That's all. It's the effective rate.
Okay.
It's almost the same. Okay, it's basically 0.75% increase. It's very, very minimal. Then the 5589 is going to bring in 17,973. So it's a difference of $8,000. Okay, to the max rate, and then the proposed tax rate that we had is going to bring in a significant amount, an additional $57,000 compared to the effective tax rate. So that's essentially what you're looking at. So,
Since you're pointing out specific numbers, I have proposed 3 solutions to bring in any one of these numbers without raising taxes.
what's that?
So I've made three propositions that could fix any one of these numbers.
Oh, well,
I'm only
first-
asking for one.
Let's see, I heard you talk about salaries.
The council pay.
Council pay, and what was the
So I
other?
guess two.
Yeah, so
Small
you didn't
one.
get a good response on those, Josh.
12 grand a year.
Anyways. Personally, if we could survive at the effective rate, so essentially you're not actually raising your tax dollars, okay? I'm concerned because it's very, very seldomly done to where you go with no new revenue from the previous year because especially the state of inflation that we're in. That's a big concern of mine. Because it didn't happen the last 3 or 4 years. It was always above the no new revenue rate. Okay, 1 year it was actually above the voter approval rate, which was last year. Okay, even though it was 49.13. So that's a concern. I'm pointing this out there. Okay, and so we've taken on significant expense with the airport that hasn't been there in previous years. Okay, so that's, I projected it in some of the notes that I took is probably an additional $60,000 a year on the airport now, and hopefully we get what Debbie projected on your rental rates from the new hangars. That would be great. But just paying that loan, okay, from the airport revenue, the hangar revenue, okay, in years past, that airport revenue offset the airport expenses. Now we don't have anything to offset the expenses, and it certainly isn't the fuel farm, because the fuel farm has capital outlay of its own in debt service, okay, which, so that's added to it also, okay? So I'm concerned in that respect because it's just never been done before. However, because of the property values, because of sales tax and all that, this is one of those rare occasions where the no new revenue rate is almost the same as the voter approval rate. It's very, very, very close. So in that case, it might work because of the additional revenue we've had from property tax, from sales tax.
Your point is completely valid. One road bump and that no new revenue rate we're gonna be wrecked. We'll have to be borrowing money.
With $476,000
No new revenue.
at the no new revenue, the 553, we're having $476,000 surplus. It's almost $500,000. We have never had $500,000.
We had to borrow $1 million from Federal State Bank and we couldn't pay for the waterworks.
No,
Saying
because
one
this
road
money
bump.
can't be used for water.
I'm
Here we
aware of
go.
that point. I'm giving an example of a road bump. One thing doesn't go as planned, and that has some serious.
And that has
impacts
been
on
the
budget.
entire history of Devine, but even through Snowmageddon, even through the pandemic, we made it. Okay, and those were two huge, horrible things to go through. You were here for some of that. So I can't understand why 476,000 isn't good enough.
Once again, I sure would like to know the comparison in the last, let's just say the 5 years between projected surplus and how we actually ended up. I would really love to see those figures.
Probably didn't spend that much,
Well, last year, the 322 that was surplus proposed, I mean, because we didn't know when we accepted, and we're ending up 50,000 more, give or take, okay, not exact numbers. That one, last year's budget that Flipper and I were on, it would have, well, you were there too. That was the most surplus we'd ever had as a city, 322, when doing a budget. Because back then we had Dory go look that up. I don't have those notes anymore to tell you what all the years were, but in the last 4 or 5 years, we've been good, like good.
And I would like to go by the final audited figures on that. So question then, okay, I just want to double check on something. So let's say you take care of yourself and you end up close to your surplus, and you're saying by law, any money that's spent on the water system has to be from the water and sewer fund?
Yes,
That's a law. So if you want to upgrade all the pipes and everything in your town, like we're doing, you have to go and charge the utility customers
that's why the rates.
for the
went
money
up
of that?
in 2018.
Well, I mean.
That doesn't sound right.
Council, because I know in the past, and I'm going way back, probably when you were on council, sewer and water was always having to help out general fund. Because general fund could, that's,
Just pull it to your name.
so it's back, and I'm going way back. There was a time when general, sewer and water had money and was having to help general fund. So council would authorize to move money over to help general fund.
I guess what is it? To that point there, what is the actual legal what are the legal implications? For instance, up there at the Briscoe Park there, we broke the law and hired someone who wasn't a licensed bonded contractor to build off the concrete pad. My recollection was the fine would have been $200. So if we're looking at $200 fine, great. Let's pay the fine to get past some moronic legal hurdles. On the other hand, if it's $50,000 fine or some serious felony, then let's not do that. Or maybe it's just our own ordinance preventing some of that stuff, or our own policies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, my point is, this is probably the number one issue in our city. Is our water. Okay, we used to have 5 wells. We've got 2. Okay, we have pipes that perhaps can cause cancer and things and all that. And here we are, okay, we watch our budget and we create a surplus. It just doesn't make sense that you can't apply some of that money to the needs of your water system. I don't get it. This makes 0 sense. And that would mean to go ahead and take your surplus and pump it in the water right now.
I'm saying that if council decides that some of this surplus they want to move it over to the water and sewer. I don't see, because I know we've done that in the past. So I don't see why we can't. I will double check, but I know it's been done before.
Well, I think where we get the
crosshairs is that it's optimum to have your water system pay for itself. Okay, and I would say that would be of a general nature. Okay, like your day-to-day, your normal and such, but not if it needs complete revamping and you need to build water towers and you need to build storage tanks and all that. That's how I always understood it. Okay, so you want your water system to pay for itself, like the employees that are in there, the goods that it uses, the materials, supplies, and so forth, but not capital outlay like that, like 10 million, you know, or what have you. You know, that's how I always understood it. So I don't see how it could be a law that you have to pay for your water with the money you collect from the citizens for the service.
Well, that $9.9 million project is being paid by the water rates. That's why the water rates went up.
Right.
Was to pay for that.
Right, and what I'm getting at is, it's great that we're doing that, okay, but because of COVID that you mentioned earlier and those other things, that 9 million is not going to go near as far as projected
Well, we know
at the
that,
time.
yes.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find a way to supplement that to where we can hopefully come closer to completing that, what was originally intended, before you can move on to something else in the rest of town. It's probably going to need it too.
I'm gonna just ask, because I understand what you're saying. I totally get it. If this turns into cash in the bank,
Right.
then, well, I guess the question to Dora would have to go to Tom and whoever else
The powers
knows all
that
the
be.
legal
Yeah.
schmeagle.
Yeah.
Once this money hits the bank, which we all know is after auditors say yay, could the council at that time say, we want $300,000 that's in the bank to go to water sewer? Like,
Right, right.
I'm not saying take the entire surplus, but I'm saying take,
Sure.
just pick a number. At this point, it doesn't
Exactly.
matter, but take 300,000 and put it to water sewer.
Begs the question I continue to ask on multiple issues. Where is the actual law versus just how we do
Well,
Well,
things?
she's going to look that up.
Right, well, that's not a spirit endorsed, so it's just I've asked some questions well before where,
This could be something we could ask Dora to have Tom have something, a presentation that would be to our understanding. Like this is the law, okay? We all read the law, go, oh. But he could say in layman's terms, yes, you can move money. If it's city money, we could move the money. I mean, we just need to know, can we do that?
Yep.
But I don't know that that should hold us up from making a budget tonight.
okay.
Because that's something would be future anyway, because we can't touch this money till the auditors approve it. That's how I see it.
I concur with your point.
Thank you. Wow,
Okay.
that's number
I got a
10.
question. So where does the money come from if the water main breaks? I think there's right across the street, it's broke, 2 or 3 times?
Uh-huh.
So where does that fund come to pay the employees, to pay for the material and everything?
Water.
For the street or for the water?
Water.
The water.
Like the generators we had to rent.
That's
Like
the water.
when we had no water in town, the generators came out of
Water.
water.
So,
So if I'm understanding y'all right, if y'all are wanting to see with the money for general fund on the surplus, wanting to use some of that money to put into the water. Is that what y'all are saying?
I personally just want to see the actual law that says we can or cannot commingle funds.
I'm checking right now. I just texted Tom, but I want to say.
It's just, if we can just
get it
by next meeting.
I want to say and I could be wrong, but I'm trying to remember that I know that council in the past has said that they want to use money because whether it's general fund or state water, didn't have enough money.
That was a long time ago.
I want to say it was a Yeah, it was a transfer that was done and it has to be put in the budget that we're transferring from general fund to the water.
But it could be a budget amendment somewhere down the line. Okay, okay. So to sum up on the 5553, okay, like I just mentioned, here's the difference, because if you think about it, we've added the airport expenses, we've added payroll expenses, you know, we have inflation expenses, we're up 90,000 in the police budget, things like that. So apparently, Denise, on the line item for taxes, okay, right in our revenue, right, it's increasing $254,000, almost $258,000 from last year to now. Is that because of sales taxes?
Which budget are you looking?
I'm looking at the projected, the proposed at 5553.
It would include the sales tax, yes. It would include sales tax, franchise tax, and property tax.
Okay, so on property tax, it's going to be almost the same, but apparently our other taxes are bringing in a significant amount of revenue, which is a wonderful thing. Okay, so we're not going to have the same exact money for the budget. It's actually going to be more by $250,000. So that kind of offsets the property tax rate. So that might explain why we would have a surplus. Am I right? Yeah, okay, so there's your surplus.
So that surplus is like a feather in the wind. It's always gonna be there no matter what. You're not gonna
use it.
unless you use
You
it.
can use it, okay, at the end of the year, if you have that $476,000 surplus, which would be awesome, goes into a cash account, and then you get to decide on how you're gonna spend it later, but it has to go somewhere on your double line entry. So,
But that's also the money in case something goes wrong during the year we can use. Like the air conditioners at City Hall went kabroki.
Correct.
Okay, we had money this year, so we could do it. We didn't have to scramble. It could be something like that. Like, God forbid, knock on wood, the ceiling falls here in the community center and we have to have this rebuilt. We have money for that, to fix it. That's the surplus, is for the oops that we can't foresee.
I mean, I'm sure we lost some servers over there, some computers. We're gonna have to do serious repairs over at the airport. Some bad habits at the golf course, that's gonna be more money out of the pocket. There's things to think about.
And a couple other, another thing to point out, okay, from budgets and such, okay, remember, you try to project the best you can. Remember, each budget year is the first year of at least a 5-year plan, and each following year is the same. So if you stay at the effective or the no new revenue rate this year, there would be a good possibility that that might necessitate a larger tax increase next year. So a general rule of thumb is if you anticipate a tax increase in the following years, you want to do it in smaller increments as opposed to jacking it up later on when you get there. So it's not an easy thing to decide. So.
I mean, what's the plan we're working towards? The plan you just described is just increasing property taxes, but I'm not hearing a goal.
That isn't what I'm saying. I'm saying if your goal is, if you're projecting 5 years down the road, okay? A lot of us are brand new, have been there for three months, 4 months, okay? So if you're projecting certain things like this year, next year, and so forth, okay? You have to remember, if you go the no new revenue rate, okay, on your property taxes, you're bringing in basically the same exact amount as the previous year.
Yes.
Okay, so fortunately we have an increase in sales tax that might offset it. Okay, it's one of those, I'm just pointing out there to think about it. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. I'm not saying to raise it. I'm just throwing everything out there, which I think is what I should be doing.
Okay.
Because you guys are going to decide, not me. Okay, so I'm just throwing everything out there to contemplate and think about. $476,000 projected surplus is great. Even if you don't hit it, it ends up being $350,000. That's great.
Good enough.
Yeah.
The 5589 is a voter's approval, correct?
Yeah, but you can actually go to the 580 without having it still wouldn't force an election, okay?
Yeah.
Because of the minimus rate.
Well, it's kind of like what Debbie said, the air condition at the city hall is ancient.
Well, we just.
Well, it's not anymore.
Yeah,
It's
not anymore,
yeah.
but we don't know, it's like you mentioned, we don't know what's gonna happen here. Devine needs a facelift, it really does. It's a beautiful town, but it needs an upgrade everywhere.
Yeah.
So this,
Great people.
you know, I'm just thinking more money in the surplus would help this town beautify itself.
And I'm gonna give them your telephone number when the phone calls start
I
coming
already
in.
gave it out,
I know. I'm just saying,
210-563-1022. I'm not scared of nobody.
when they, I'm just letting you know, I'm already getting phone calls that said, hey, just call City Hall.
Look, God put me here for a reason.
I get you,
You know,
I get
I
you.
didn't-
But $500,000 is a lot of surplus. I think that's way more than enough than we need.
$32,000 a month given to the golf course was a lot of money.
There was a reason for that,
Yeah.
Michael, and let's not bring that up
But I'm
tonight.
just saying, that was a lot of money also.
There was a reason for it.
Let's try to stay with the budget at hand, please.
The city of New Braunfels is at 0.4139. Granted, they've got more sales tax and they've got a lot more population density, but if you're charging people an amount of money to live in your town, we're already exceeding little higher end towns you could live in.
That's a horrible comparison. It's an awful
What's the
comparison.
population of New Braunfels?
I was looking up their tax rate.
Yeah.
Some court brought up last year. That was a really good
Yeah,
point.
but they got a lot more people living in there.
Well, I agree, but it's,
So,
at the end of the day,
Unfortunately,
we're charging people more money to live here. Why would they choose to live here?
Unfortunately, you can't really compare any town to any town. When you get right down to that, you have to compare with what you have and what you can do with it. So, example, Lytle, for example, has a smaller tax rate than we do because of the extended commerce they have out there on the freeway. You know, it's a smaller town, and they bring in almost the same amount of money as we do on taxes. See? So that's our long-range goal, obviously, is try and bring in more revenue, especially out there by the freeway. But right now, we got to contend with this. So the other thing would be, like, if you started at this with in excess of $476,000, that would allow you to go ahead and, you know, if it was known earlier and we had all this completely in front of us, then you say, well, then you could give the police department this or that, or you could give this, that, or whatever, and then you would just drop your surplus. See, so, but we've already come to this point, so we have to decide between one of three budgets and one of three tax rates. So. And like I said earlier, you're looking at a difference of $67,000. Well, actually, from the bottom one, the 5553 to the 580, you got a difference of approximately $57,000 difference in revenue. And then to put it into, I thought it was great what Debbie provided last week, to put that into actual dollars. Let's just say, for example, you got the 5553 rate, that's your new revenue rate, and you go with the proposed rate of 580 on $100,000 house, it's a difference of $25 per year. See, and then of course it's relative from there on. $150,000 house, it's a difference of $38 for the year. So that kind of puts it in a little bit different perspective to me. I personally, and a lot of people I've spoken to, everybody knows taxes are necessary, but most people really get angry when it's wasted.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so it's not so much the tax rate or this or that, it's what did they get for their dollar. Anyway, those are the materials I have prepared just to kind of show to you guys on how to proceed.
basically it's almost time to make a motion right now.
Well, I think the thing to consider, and everybody should understand it, and I'll stand behind it, and, you know, of course, whatever you guys want to go with. We're the same way. We pay the same taxes.
I know, so that's what I'm saying.
So, you know, and so for example, if I'm going to pay another, okay, my house would be, you know, about another $40.
See?
If I'm going to pay another $40 a year, of course, remember, you still got all your other taxes. You got your school taxes, which will be a lot more. Your county taxes, which will, you know, whatever. So, my $40 can get something worthwhile. Great, but I would like to see it get something worthwhile. So anyway.
What are you two thinking? Do y'all want to go
I'm thinking of-
to, like, I guess to decide, do y'all want to start with, a motion to, adopt the proposed budget with, the tax rate of such and see how everybody takes action on that, and then go to the next one until,
Well, that was my next thing. I was just thinking perhaps you could come to a consensus first.
Go ahead and ask them.
What are you two thinking? You know, I'm pretty sure you know where the three of us stand.
I'm thinking the 5589.
Okay.
I mean,
So that's,
we just need,
I'm the same way.
5589.
Just because, like the mayor was saying, the 5-year plan, you know, I would like to have cushion better, you know.
we just don't know what disaster's gonna come. I mean, even though, like y'all saying, see, that's what's confuses me about the surplus, you know? You can't use it for this infrastructure, you can't use it for the street, you can't use it for the wells, you know what I'm saying? So, it's better to have that, it's always better to have that cushion in anybody's bank account, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
I think you can, but it has to be earmarked. You just can't pull it to cover a deficiency in your budgets. Okay, you want your budget to stand for itself. Okay, so if you get to making amendments, let's say 6 months from now, hopefully, you know, it's not till then, at least till then, you got to take it from somewhere within your budget, your existing budget. You don't just go ahead and have a wild card fund. Oh, well, we went over, we'll just go ahead and take it out of here. That's why you want to have that cushion in here, so you can do that. Okay? So, if you go the 5589, it's almost the same. I would say, to me, between the 5553 and the 580, because the 580 is going to bring you in another, what was it, $47,000, which isn't a lot as far as tax goes to be spread across the board. Actually, it would be 57.
Do you two have anything to add?
The hill I'm gonna die on, no new revenue.
Nothing. So neither one of y'all want to raise the tax rate.
I personally, and I've said it since day one, 4913. I understand I'm in the minority, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how you guys are gonna do this. So I just want you to be aware of the amount of surplus that we're asking people to pay that extra $40 a month for.
I think at that surplus, that would be money well spent, as long as we spend it well.
because the money, it's gotta come to us, through us anyway, to get it spent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
So basically, you're not raising your tax dollars. You're not raising your property tax dollars if you go to 5553.
But we are still increasing the amount of money people have to pull out of their pocket each year. We're not increasing our revenue much, but we're increasing the amount of dollars people are pulling out of their pocket.
Don't forget.
Yes, we're subsidizing the old people.
There you
I'm
go.
aware.
That's only $32,000 or $35,000, and that's
That-
kind of,
that's
we're
your
that
difference.
old.
That's your difference.
$32,000 or $35,000.
Yeah. That's your
That has
difference
nothing-
in the tax rate.
It's already worked into this surplus.
Yeah, that's a difference in your tax rate. That's why the effective rate is 55 cents.
It's like a 0.57.
It was worth 11
It's gonna be
cents.
increased to 0.57.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that's already worked into these rates.
I think we're almost
So it's
ready
really
for
not a
motion.
reason to say the old people are getting,
It's a
Okay.
subsidy. I mean, every subsidy has a cost to it.
yes, and as y'all made me very aware a few meetings ago, it's still $35,000 of revenue. That's all it is, which is less than the backhoe probably cost to get repaired. So I'm just saying, I just don't see the necessity of making our people pay more for things we're already going to be able to do.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I'm just gonna let
Gotcha,
y'all
gotcha.
go.
Cut
I'm gonna
council
shut
pay
this
in
off.
half. That would get us to the middle ground.
What's that?
We cut council pay in half. That would get us to the middle ground. Show me some sacrifice before we ask people to
It's
take more
actually,
money out of
it's
their
actually,
pockets.
it's actually a little late to do that.
It
Okay,
is.
right
We're
there.
past that now.
Okay, we're at the deadline. Okay, it's not in the budget. It can be amended
Okay, you know
later
what? I'll
on.
make a motion that we approve the budget for the no new revenue rate.
Okay, all right, we have a motion from Josh to approve the budget at the rate of .5553, which is the no new revenue rate.
No.
No.
No new revenue is 5553.
All right.
Do you still want to make the motion, or do you want to?
Yeah, no new revenue.
Okay, all right, let's start again.
Butch, I have Tom on the line, and I just asked him, and he's saying that yes, he says, like after the auditors do for the amendments, if there's money left over, council would have to take action to transfer, whatever amount to, the water department, right, Tom?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, so that's
About that.
January, February, whenever the audit is done.
Yep.
That's something we can put on the budget
Right,
then,
they
So-
or
You're saying they
agenda.
would have to take action to be able to transfer, right?
That's correct.
Awesome.
So if we do that, if we take whatever surplus that we can afford to let go, obviously don't want to let all of it go, that's money well spent, because it's our water supply. Okay. So anyway, we have a budget, we have a motion. Remember, guys, we have a motion on the table. Josh Ritchie made a motion to accept the budget at the .5553 tax rate.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second by Stacy. Do we have any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, we have one aye. Okay, we have two aye. We have two in favor. Is that it? All opposed?
Nay.
We're talking about the 5-5.
5553.
That's a new, the no new, yeah, 5589, one.
Okay, remember 5589, the difference between the two is going to bring in another $8,000. That's all.
Repeat that one more time?
The difference in property tax revenue between 5553 and 55589 is $8,000. You don't get a significant increase unless you go to 580, and that's not going to pass. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that while there's motion on the floor. But
How many weeks have we been at this table?
Too many. Too many.
it'll be better next year.
3 months. It's been a long time.
It sure has.
We have two in favor and one against.
Not two in favor, two against. Debbie and Mike.
Mike didn't vote yet.
Oh, I thought he did. I thought he did.
Is that, I'm thinking.
4913.
Is that that noise I hear?
Man, hold on, give me 5 seconds.
We don't even know what the numbers were.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll go with the 5553 then.
I'll change mine too.
Okay, so we have four in favor of the motion. Okay, everybody hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, we have four in favor of Josh's motion and Debbie opposed. Motion carries. That budget is adopted.
My God, that was hard. Jeez.
Well, the next ones are going to be easy because you've already done it. Okay. So now you got to show the breakdown.
So now y'all have to do, 5 adopt the ordinance, you can adopt the ordinance, with, the one that has a general fund, 4,797,062. That's the one that we gave you 3 ordinances. This is the one that needs to be adopted.
Number 5?
Huh?
This
No,
one?
it's the ordinance itself. Yes, it's the one, Clipper, that has the 4,797,062 on general fund. That's the one that needs to be adopted, and that's gonna be, if y'all adopt it, it's gonna be 9-23. We have to put it in an ordinance we have to bring it from the budget into this ordinance showing
But it's not this one, it's not.
the different, the
This
revenue
one,
and the
hold on.
expense.
47, 97.
5.
What was the amount again, I'm sorry?
And the sewer is 797,062.
How are you going to distinguish that one? How are you going to distinguish that one? You just mentioned the overall general fund.
It's that one.
I know, but how are we going to distinguish that?
I cheated.
She put them all on there. Oh, this one
See
here.
what I did?
Right.
479.
Okay, but when the motion's made, it needs to say,
Oh,
So
62.
you're gonna do this in ordinance, City of Devine establishing the budget beginning October.
Yeah.
Yes, that this is the one, you're gonna have to repeat all.
that's what I'm asking. Okay,
So you can hold on to that.
thank you, that's what I was asking. How do you distinguish? So you just repeat the entire one?
So do we have to read the entire header?
Well, he's gotta go over what the ordinance is adopting, the revenue and the expense, each total.
Yes, read
I've
this
read it at
whole
least
thing.
4 times and I still don't know what it's adopting.
The whole page.
Yeah.
Good.
To go over, that he's adopting that, because y'all have the 3, so we need
Well-
to distinguish what.
If I read the entire ordinance, cannot the motion be made to accept ordinance number 9-23? Rather than the motion repeated? all that?
To adopt the ordinance, 9-23.
Can someone help me understand what this is actually saying?
This is basically approving what you just did and creating an ordinance for it.
I know I see all the numbers under general fund, water and sewer. It's just saying this is how much money we anticipate getting.
It's the same thing that's coming from the budget.
Yeah, it's just transferred over.
So that's saying this is how much we anticipate bringing in revenue.
It's the same thing,
Okay.
that the numbers are coming directly from the budget.
Okay,
It's just in a different format.
just making sure it's
Yeah.
confusing.
All right, we're ready to go to agenda item number 5. Discuss and consider adopting an ordinance establishing the budget beginning October 1st, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024, appropriating funds for the operation of the general fund, the water fund, and the sinking fund to pay interest and principal due on all city indebtedness. This ordinance number 9-23 reads as follows. An ordinance of the City of Devine establishing the budget beginning October 1, 2023 and ending September 30, 2024, appropriating funds for the operation of the general fund, water and sewer fund, lodging fund, the T-Coal fund, home program fund, and sinking fund to pay interest and principal due on all city indebtedness. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Devine. Whereas the budget appended hereto as Exhibit B for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024 was duly presented to the City Council and a public hearing was held after the public notice. Now therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Devine, Section 1, period. This section of the ordinance shall compose of the City of Devine's budget for the fiscal year of October 1, 2023 to September 30th, 2024. A, Category A, under Revenues, General Fund, $4,797,062. Water and Sewer Fund, $2,864,200. Debt Service Fund, $252,100. Lodging Fund, $20,040. T-Coal Fund, $2. TIF, 0. Home Program Fund, 0. B, Category B, expenditures. General Fund, $4,196,102. Water and Sewer Fund, $2,933,979. Debt Service Fund, $242,258. Lodging Fund, $4,324. TCOL Fund, 0. TIF, 0. Home Program, 0. Section 2. No expenditure listed above in the budget may be exceeded without appropriate council action to amend the budget. Said action shall fully describe all changes proposed to the budget and shall include the sources of revenue to finance the proposed expenditure. Now I would need a motion.
I'll make a motion, we accept that ordinance.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Ritchie to accept ordinance number 9-23, seconded by Councilperson Randall. Any further discussion? Motion passes. Passed and approved on this, the 26th day.
We didn't vote.
I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. Hey, you're absolutely right. I'm so fired up to get this over with.
We all want to go home.
There's 6 to 8 weeks of
Hey, when they said any further discussion, I'm like, I'm going to move it on.
It's like,
Right.
no, gone, off the table, bye.
All in favor of what I just read for the last half hour?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thanks for the correction. Passed and approved this 26th day of September, 2023. Sign it now or sign it later? Laura?
Well, let's get that. Budget's done.
Sign it now or sign it later?
Did you bring the champagne?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that takes us to agenda item number 6. Now, I would think on this one, we don't need to go through the entire agenda items, do we?
Y'all are just, y'all already get y'all are gonna be, same with tax rate.
Correct.
Action on the tax
Okay.
rate.
Make a
Which is
motion.
item number?
Okay, agenda item 6,
It's all the paper today.
discuss and consider adopting the 2023 tax rate.
I make a motion, we adopt tax rate .5553 per $100 of valuation of property for the maintenance and support of the general government.
Okay, Councilman Rishi,
Okay, when you make the motion, you gotta make sure to include what's in the M&O and what's in the INS.
I don't know what those words mean.
Do you have, the first paragraph, yes, just
Yeah,
read the whole
you
first
gotta-
paragraph.
Read the
you
first
gotta
paragraph?
put in the motion and, with 1 and 2 on that ordinance.
I don't know what you, I don't,
Here, I'm coming. Hold on.
We can talk, our cash and routing tables that
We're on
they
6.
lost me.
We have to approve the tax rate.
we have to prove the tax rate first.
Sorry,
And then,
I jumped.
okay,
Man, everybody wants out of here tonight.
And then we'll have the ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, start over, sir.
Can I just say the same thing I already said, or do I have to say something different?
I just want to make sure they get it.
Yeah, it's the next item. That has to be
Okay, so
done.
there's a motion on the table then.
I just want to make sure they got it. Okay. All right, we have a motion from Councilman Ritchie to adopt the 2023 tax, the 2023-2024 tax rate of .5553, which is the no new revenue rate. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilperson Pyron. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
okay.
Motion passes. Councilperson Randall, nay. Okay. So now that'll take us to agenda item number 7.
Okay, Dora, now.
That one that shows the 5589,
Okay.
the 555,
5553.
sorry. So,
Would that be, okay, now
Oh,
I read
it's
the
number 7 on
same.
the agenda thingy. That's actually it, right
Oh,
there.
so-
whoever makes the
553.
motion,
What's
they
the
have
number
to
gonna
make the
be?
motion. They can say this, the 0.553 tax rate for the maintenance and support. They have to repeat this.
Okay,
And then,
Oh, it's
and
one
then
and
they
two.
have to repeat
So
that.
1 and 2,
Because
you
these
have to
two
say?
add up to that. This is what's gonna go in the minimum, and this is the INS. Okay?
okay, and, but I need to read the entire thing?
Huh?
I need to read the entire thing?
No, you don't have to, as long as when they do the motion, they say this, what the tax rate is, and then they repeat 1 and 2.
Okay, so I just read the agenda item. Fair enough. Okay.
A lot less to say.
Yeah, all right, for sure. Okay, agenda item number 7. Discuss and consider adopting an ordinance levying ad valorem taxes for use and support of the municipal government of the city of Devine for the 2023-2024 fiscal year, providing for appointing each levy for the specific purposes, and providing when taxes shall become due, when same shall become delinquent if not paid, with .5553 on each $100 valuation of property for the maintenance and support of the general government, parentheses, general fund.
I make a motion, we accept tax rate of .5553 on each $100 of valuation of property, said tax being so levied and apportioned to the specific purpose here set forth, the maintenance and support of general government, general fund, .4509 on each $100 of valuation of property, and for the interest and sinking fund, .1044 on each $100 of valuation of property.
I think that's all that's required. Okay, we have a councilperson, we have a motion from Councilperson Ritchie to place .509 in the general fund for each $100 valuation of property, and for the interest and sinking fund, .1044 on each 100 valuation of property. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second from Councilperson Byron. Further discussion? Okay, this is just breaking down the 5553 and where it's going to go. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay?
Motion carries. Councilperson Randall opposed.
Which is gonna be 9-23A.
9-23A
A,
as in apple.
yes.
Okay. The ordinance that just passed, 9-23A, passed and approved this 26th day of September, 2023.
Do we need to make a motion to take no action on 8 and 9? Or do we just burn past them?
Well, they're moot. This is kind of a new one.
I concur.
So I would suggest that,
No, y'all just want you for the record.
Just say no action taken. You can say no action taken for 8 and 9.
okay, do I need to read them? Okay.
We
So-
never have in the past. I'm just gonna say, Tom's always, I can't believe Tom's not here, but he's always said we could just say no, because they're not relevant any longer.
Right. Is that,
Yeah, I mean, as long as, you're gonna say that no action was taken for 8 and 9 because y'all selected 7.
correct, right. So, since council passed agenda item number 7, and we already have an ordinance, therefore, we will take no action on agenda item number 8 and agenda item number 9. And that's all I have on the agenda.
No, we got number 10, appraisal board.
You did backside this week, trying to mess me up again.
Save some paper.
Saving paper, by God.
There we go.
All right, agenda item number 10, discuss and consider adopting a resolution nominating a candidate for the election of the Medina County Appraisal Board of Directors for 2023-2024. At this time, I would like to nominate Jerry Beck, who was at our last meeting, former county commissioner, former city councilman, and former mayor. I think he will represent the city of Devine quite well.
Dora, does Butch just get to do that, or do we have to make a?
Just nominating.
I didn't hear you.
You have, y'all, the council,
Okay.
take action to give, and then on the second page, it has that y'all are giving Jerry Beck, the city of Devine, total votes for the city of Devine is 81, so y'all are giving him the 81 votes.
Okay, then I make a motion that we nominate Jerry Beck for county appraiser,
The
appraisal board of directors.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Ritchie to nominate Jerry Beck as our candidate for the Medina County Appraisal Board of Directors.
And adopt the resolution, there's a resolution behind it.
And adopt the resolution
The 81 votes, correct?
assigning the 81 votes for the city of Devine.
There you go.
To
And
him.
assigning the 81 votes that are allotted to the city of Devine. And it was seconded by Councilperson Randall. Further discussion?
There was nobody else.
Well, you can. Anybody can be nominated, but Jerry stepped up. He's incredibly qualified.
I think in all my times of coming to, for 20 years of coming to council, I have never seen someone actually come to council and say, I want to be on the board. Like literally, that was the first time ever having someone come to council.
Yeah, last year I asked about that. We just got a piece of paper scanned in an email saying they were interested in it. That was the only person that applied, so, or even said they wanted to.
So I was thrilled because we all know
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do a great job. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that resolution was 9-23B.
9-23B.
Motion carries, which approves Resolution 9-33B.
23?
23.
23. I wrote 30. Okay, 23. You need to get a mic. Got it. Any information? Okay, agenda item 11, informational items. Let's keep it to information.
Okay. There's been increased crime on Crouch and Libel. Just folks been telling me that they've seen people trying to break into cars and whatnot. And it would seem like a good idea if next general meeting, Nancy Southoff wanted to make a presentation for the historical site, if we could put that at the beginning of the meeting, just to get the max community participation. Because it sounds like it'll be a pretty lengthy thing.
Okay, repeat that, please.
Nancy Southoff is putting together a really in-depth historical presentation for the city of Devine that she wants to present to the council.
Oh, sure.
And so it seems to me
Oh,
it
yeah.
might be a good idea to put that earlier in the meeting instead of at the end.
At our next general meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next scheduled meeting? Fair enough.
I found about it last night.
Okay.
I just talked to her.
Yeah.
She did a lot of work on that.
She's been doing a lot of work.
Josh, who?
Nancy Southoff.
Oh, Nancy Saddle?
She a
Yeah.
teacher?
She was.
No,
No?
no, it was a different saddle.
Yeah, this is the one that's on the historical committee.
Yeah, I thought she was a teacher.
Oh,
I don't know, she's working at the school now. She's been presenting to the kids at school.
Yeah, the third graders.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go watch one of the presentations.
And then Josh, what did you say about?
no, there is a different saddle.
What did you say about the?
I grew up in the gutter, yes.
Oh, on Crouch and Libel, people have been seeing folks trying to break into their cars. And I guess maybe some of them were successful. I only heard about it from the third person, so I don't know any details.
Yes,
So-
very much so. I was going to bring it up a little while ago about our surplus.
Yeah.
See where it's going to go. But,
I just
Okay.
have,
okay.
I remember, I don't know how long ago, but something about moon eclipse or something's going to, and this area is going to be real good. We're going to have a lot of people come in.
I think it's the
It's going to be the second
projected.
weekend of October.
The
That
best place-
Saturday,
It's
the
like the
14th.
14th, yes.
I think
And
somebody's-
nothing ever got done. It just kind of went by the by. So Devine will be doing nothing.
But yes, there is one next April too, like another really big one.
Yes,
I don't even know if we missed it or what. I know that.
It's coming.
We're going to have a lot of.
a couple weeks.
I seem to recall reading something about it's going to be real visible in, up around Bandera for some reason. I don't know
Still in our
why.
area, it's gonna be very
Our
close.
region, yeah.
Bandera's actually got a huge event planned.
There it is. I knew it was something.
Yeah.
Mark and Media has been trying to push this for, heck, a year and a half now.
Yeah.
So they've been tracking it, just no one really had the interest. I think last year, that's when I was able to get to a motion to suspend food truck regulations 24 hours before, during, and after that.
Yeah, because we were talking
Yeah.
about having an event,
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
so we've done something for it.
but we didn't ever go there.
Yeah.
And
So
that's supposed to be,
nothing's
and that's going
So
to be
go in your
before the
backyard,
next
sit in
meeting.
your chair and watch,
There you
know.
go.
I think y'all were directing Rob was emergency management coordinator at that time.
Yeah, well, nothing,
Directing him to get something together.
that all went by the by.
So.
That's April, in
We
April.
won't.
So in front of
In May
you,
month?
this is all we have received for the city administrator. I wanted to make sure to give it to y'all so y'all can take it and review it. And then, y'all wanna set up a special meeting to see which ones y'all select for interview. But I wanted to make sure to give y'all, this is as of what we have as of right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Dora.
Thank you.
I have a few things. I actually wrote down and remembered to bring the list this time. Tuesday night, October 3rd, National Night Out. It's at the golf course. Our police department they've done all the planning. So Tuesday night, it'd be great if everybody could come out and,
What time does that start?
I think it starts at 6.
6? I think you're right.
I think we got a council meeting that day.
I think not. I'm gonna be absent. Also, I went to the Chamber of Commerce, meeting last night. They're in, look, they got 5.5 weeks left, until Cactus Festival.
When is
which-
that?
November 4th. So everybody's in the scatter and, scream state. Well, they're not screaming yet. They're gonna be there though. But they really have a lot. They've got all the bands fixed. They got all the, I think there's only 3 vendor slots left open and 3 or 4 for the food. They're on it this year. So next general meeting, they're requested to be on the agenda. That's already been sent in, for noise variance and street closures, because somehow that hasn't happened yet, but that's okay. Also, they want to put up 10 more banners on the streets, the banners that are hanging now. Well, they would like to put 10 more up, so they're asking the city to make or buy 10 more brackets. Then you've got to Pete would need to get together with them as to where do they want them put up at. I'll send an email, but I just wanted council to know they're excited about doing more banners. Also, okay, I don't know when this was from, but back in the last 2 or 3 years, AEP, you could purchase banner poles that went on one side of the street and then the other side, so you could have the big banners up. Remember when we used to have a huge banner about the fall festival? Well, now you have to do poles. You can't do how we used to do it from electric pole to electric pole. So Cindy Morales is looking into that. She's been talking with AEP about it to purchase the poles, and then we'll have to figure out where. AEP actually sets them. We don't touch them, but she wanted us to know they're working on getting a big spot for a banner, for whatever, whoever. The other thing is Christmas. I know we don't want to talk about Christmas because we're not even at Halloween yet, but because it takes a lot of planning, you have to start talking now. The chamber has their corner, which is Church's Corner. They always put up a tree and whatever, festive. And the Garden Club, of course, does their nativity scene. In past years, the mayor did his own corner, which is Pico. Of course, I don't know if the current mayor wants to continue that or not, but the chamber was asking, and I said, I don't know, because we've not talked about it. So they suggested if the mayor doesn't want a corner to himself to decorate, maybe the city would, council would like to do a sign or put up lights or, Happy Christmas, Merry New Year, whatever. I said, I'll bring it to them as informational. Y'all can think about it. Maybe we can have an agenda item on that at the next meeting, because it has to be done, Thanksgiving time. There's not a lot of time left.
I would for sure definitely prefer something be done from everyone from the city as opposed to just from me,
That's fine.
without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm sorry?
Is it only for Christmas?
Yeah, but they set up, we've tried, I'm gonna say, to have it set up by the Thanksgiving weekend so that it's, you know, through the whole holiday. So,
I mean, I thought we decorated too, like for Halloween and all that, but we don't.
the garden club they take care of that one corner. I mean, they're in charge of all the corners, but they decorate the shell corner year round, pretty much. So for when Fall Festival comes, they'll probably have their little scarecrows and whatnot out there. But they were asking council, chamber is, would we like to do Christmas corner?
That sounds fun.
So
I know Stacy likes that.
I have done the corner 2 years in a row too, so it can be fun. Also, I told you about that, and never mind. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, and then I have one thing to add regarding the property that we're purchasing from the school, okay? We're still waiting to cross some Ts and dot some Is. Superintendent Grandjean got with me the other day, and he says they're checking with their attorney right now to add one more addendum to it. With respect, let's see, we want to put in there deed restrictions and first right of refusal. And if in 50 years you guys decide to sell it, we would have first chance to buy back. And the deed restriction involved making sure that it would be used for city utilities. And so somebody 5 years from now doesn't turn it into a junkyard. He's just kind of saying, probably just using that as an example. So everything is still in the works, everything is good, right? They're just the attorneys are going to try and work out all the very fine details. So hopefully by our next meeting, we'll have everything solidified. Right. Anything else, guys?
I'm sorry?
Are we gonna be in the parade?
Oh, you weren't here?
Oh, yeah. They decided yes to do that.
Who's gonna decorate or?
We need to.
Oh, they
decorate.
appointed you?
You missed a lot, Clifford.
Hey, we already bought your uniform, how can you bring it?
Make a motion to adjourn. Well, I'm not done yet.
He's trying to get out of the parade.
So what we do need to do is come up with a date for when we're gonna decorate for the parade, but that's something we need to talk to Mr. Lawler, if we can use that same spot that we used last year on their property. It was an enclosed place where we could go in and decorate and leave the trailer there until the morning, and then Pete has a guy that'll go get it and take it to the parade route. That way it's undercover, because forever and a day, it usually rains the night before the parade. So we need it where it's not gonna get wet. So we do, I will take that on and see if they can. I know, they were so cute last year, and the baby. So it was fun.
I'll be glad to help out.
Okay, cool.
All right, any further informational items? Okay, now I entertain a motion. Call what you will.
Second.
Well, no, I didn't acknowledge your motion.
Oh my gosh.
I
now
will
I'm gonna
now.
cow.
Motion by Councilperson Ritchie to adjourn. Second by Flipper. All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. Hey, we won't have to see each other for a few weeks.